we're going to talk about Isla Dorada, an exploration game from Fantasy Flight. Very cool.
This is me chopping trees down so we can get through. This is kind of a cooperative-ish game in that there's one playing piece, and you're voting on how to move the playing piece all over the board. But then you have cards that do all kinds of special things. So very much one of the designers is Bruno Fedduti, and you can certainly tell that in the course of the game.
I think calling it a cooperative game might be a little bit of a misnomer, though. It feels like a cooperative game, but you're definitely not helping each other. You're trying to do the best for you only.
In fact, we should probably strike that word from the record, because the only thing that's cooperative is that you're all moving the same piece, and you're really irritated sometimes when other people move it.
Yep.
But there are some interesting things to this game, and it's one of the surprise hits for me. I think it's beautiful, but it hasn't had a lot of people talk about it. Some people talk about it negatively, and I really like it.
Yep, I hadn't even heard of it when it hit the table, but very, very positive reviews from everybody who's played it so far.
In this game, you are using this funky-looking pawn, which, I don't know, looks like all the parties at the members...
the many-headed totem pole.
Yeah. Alright. Anyway, it's just asking to be painted. You know, that's normally Sam's line, but these are just really cool models. But just big, chunky pieces of plastic. But it's Fantasy Flight, so what do you expect? Each round of the game basically turns it to be the same thing. Players are going to vote for which path this totem is going to follow. Which way do you want to go? Although he can't go upriver here. And so I'll say, I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to bid 1 to go that way. And someone else says, no, I'm going to bid 3 to go that way. So I say, I'll bid 4 to go that way. And we say, all right, it's yours. Although you can play a advanced variant where people can add to other people's bids, which is a recommended way. But for beginners, you're just going to bid what you have. Then the player has to get rid of cards, whoever wins the bid, that are equal to the path that's traveled on. So see, this shows a mountain path, the brown mountain path, that's what he traveled over. This guy bid 4, so he would have to discard 4 yaks to get rid of that. And there's yaks for mountains, there's camels for sand, there's kayaks for water. And so he moves here. Now at the beginning of the game, people are going to be getting treasure cards for some of the cities. And if you move to a city where you have a treasure card, you can say, ah ha ha ha, and reveal it. Maybe you don't say that, maybe you just reveal it. But, and that shows how many points you're going to get at the end of the game. Players also have a curse card that got at the beginning of the game, and that's not the curse cards, these are the curse cards. And if you go to a city that's your curse card,
which is the city we're in right now,
then you say, oh man, do your swiper impression, and show that you have -3 points. Or some of the curse cards are worse than that. And that's basically how the game is going to work. You're going to be moving around, going back and forth between cities. But you're also going to be trying to accomplish a goal. Each player has this goal card that they're going to get. And this one says if you visit these 4 cities, you're going to get points. Some of them say that if you don't go to these cities, you'll score points. Some of them, for every one of these cards that's in your hand, you get points. There's all different ways to get points. And you have a choice between 2 different goal cards at the beginning of the game. Once you move to a city, we take a token, put it in that city. If you notice there's 2 orange tokens, at that point players will get more treasure cards. At the end of each turn, players are going to be drawing cards. It's almost a Ticket to Ride style. There'll be some face-up cards and a stack of face-down cards. So each person in turn order gets to draw one of these cards. You can take it off the top. Sometimes a card will show a symbol like this lightning bolt here, which means you must play that card immediately. And fortunately, the game gives us a big handy guide that explains what all the cards do, because there's a lot of different ones.
It also explains the destiny cards.
Now, when you take these cards, after everyone has taken them, at the beginning of the game, each person starts with 10 coins. If you keep all these coins towards the end of the game, 10. If you keep all 10 coins by the end of the game, or however many coins, they're each worth a point. So you don't want to get rid of these easily, and there's no way to ever get more of them. However, after everyone takes a card, you are allowed to pay a coin to take another card. And that's one of the hardest choices of the game, because you always want more cards. they're very useful. And some cards, like this one here, this one lets you fly to any spot on the board, but it costs a coin to use this card. And there's even another one that costs 3 coins to use. And for me, I think that's the neatest part of the game because you're struggling. I went into one game saying, I'm not going to spend any money this game. I guarantee it. And I did.
Guarantee reneged.
So I like that feature of the game, taking those cards. And there's cards with the kind of take that thing where you can steal cards from someone else, steal a treasure, give someone else an extra curse card. One last thing I wanted to mention here is the artwork of this game is phenomenal, I think. This island looks like the one that the people from Lost were on, if it was interesting. These figures here, in case you're wondering, you can put this guy on a path to stop the party from moving that way. There's a sea serpent you can put on a sea path to stop people from moving on the sea. Sam used that to great effect in our last game.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. After the party has gone for 16 rounds, you count up your points that you've earned from all the different treasures. You subtract your curses. You add up the points you get for if you've done your little bonus card. And any extra money. And whoever has most points is the winner.
Tom mentioned that you shouldn't really spend your money easily. I think on both my games ended up spending all of my money, or maybe just keeping one, and I still did pretty well. So it depends on how you have to spend your money at the right time, not just flippantly throughout the game. You only have 10 coins and there's 16 rounds. So if you spend 1 coin every round, you're not going to make it to the entire game. So you do have to choose the right points in which to spend it.
And we did, our first game, I think we had spent almost all our money by turn 8. Because we were like, oh, money, yeah, whatever. So our second round, we realized that there was 16 turns, so we started spending it slowly. And I really tried to hold on to it, but like Sam says, right, it's just so handy. And there's sometimes such a good card that you can't afford to pass it up. You start.
I start.
With the overall impressions.
Overall impressions. Okay. So, my overall impression of Isla Dorada is 1.5 thumbs up.
We're ruining the thumb system. Probably the same from me. I mean, I'm really close to saying 2 thumbs up for what it is.
Yeah. This
would be in my contention for family game of the year. Although, you have to be a family who's willing to be backbiting, and I would argue that it might take kids a bit to get that bidding system down.
Right.
It's not difficult bidding. You're basically bidding with different currencies, but there's a lot of interaction. You can say, well, why don't we move the guy this way? Or you can do don't throw me in the briar patch, I don't want to go that way, don't go that way. So they go that way, and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
But it's very entertaining, and it doesn't feel like any other game I played. Have you played anything that's similar to this?
No, not really. The only thing I would really recommend is playing with that alternate version where you can help somebody go a certain way. That might ease up some of the tension, some of the backbiting. But that's all I got. Yeah. I can't go this way. I have to do this.
I'm probably higher than that because I'm giving it extra points for beautiful artwork, great components,
right,
the fact that it's simple to play, and just I like the theme. The theme works really well. So overall, it's just a very enjoyable experience. Will I want to play it all the time? Not likely, but it's one if someone asked me to play it, I wouldn't say no. And it only takes about an hour once you know what you're doing. So
right,
that's not bad.
I guess that puts it at what, according to Board Game Geek, around a 7?
Yeah, 7.
About a 7, strong 7, possibly an 8, depends on your mood.
We're migrating from the thumb. So this one gets 3 thumbs out of 4. Is that...
Okay, yeah, 3 thumbs out of 4.
We're trying to confuse everybody.
Exactly.